So let's talk a little bit about, tell me a little bit about your childhood.
Um,
How was it growing up? You said
it,
Jersey, right?
yeah, it was my mother and father separated, and it was hard. I mean, my mom never worked. She was on welfare. Never worked a day in her life. And, I started working, like I said, when I was young. So I could, I wanted things. I didn't want to wear my brother's hand-me-downs, and my mother wasn't a very affectionate woman. I mean, she was, well, towards me. I was the bad son. My brother's a pedophile and got convicted, and he's the great son, which I can't figure out. But I'll accept that. You know what I'm saying? I'll be the no good son instead of being the good son and have to do what he did. And me and my mother don't talk. We haven't.
So you said you started using early. What did you start using?
Heroin, coke, whatever I could get my hands on the I guess, escape reality a little bit, I guess. Things that happened to me, and it took me a long time to accept that I wasn't the one that was messed up in the head. It was nothing that I did. I still haven't told, my family doesn't know. There's only one person I told.
So that you were doing drugs?
No, that what happened to me, as far as what my mother did to me. And that was a girl that I know, and it had happened to her. And I just to let her know that she wasn't alone, because it was eating her up. She's a beautiful young lady, and she's very talented. And I told her, you have to let it go. There's nothing you can do to change that. It wasn't your fault. You had nothing to do with it. And, she's doing good now. It actually helped her.
So you're one of the people that, you do take the resources and the shelters and things like that they have to offer. And what else are you doing to better your situation?
Well, I've been working with Prevention Point. I have a case manager looking into becoming a drug and alcohol therapist.
Okay.
So I can, because I'm a person that, when I used to go to those rehabs and detoxes, the first question I would ask a counselor is, have you ever done drugs? Have you ever been an addict? And if they tell me no, I've went to school for it, I just can't relate to that person because, I mean, a book is a book. When you live that lifestyle and been there and been out here on these streets, homeless and using, it's a big difference than going to school and, like I said, reading a book. And I just think, and they've all told me that I have a lot to offer another addict because they can relate to me. And I'm not gonna be the one that tells them you have to stop right away, or because it doesn't happen overnight. It's not going to stop overnight. And I don't want to be one that's in the office. I want to be like you are, out on the street doing my work out here, where I can, be in where they're at, because a lot of them don't want to come in there, because of the pressure that they feel. Because I know I felt the pressure, going into places and, they look at you like, oh, you've been here a month, you haven't stopped yet, or, and I just think I could help some people. If I can help one person, it would all be worth it.
That's how I feel. And so you said you've been clean for 9 years, right?
Yep.
What about alcohol?
Well, it's been like 6 years since I've drank.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I gave that up. I mean, I went hard for about 6 months when my wife died.
Okay. And what's the hardest part about being out here on the streets for you?
The perception people have about me.
Like you're a scumbag?
Scumbag, worthless, want something for nothing, don't want to work. Yeah, I'm out here by choice, I would say,
Why do you say that it's by choice?
because I chose to come out, and I did what I did to become this way myself. I mean, I can't blame anybody but me.
Right.
I mean, I take all responsibility for everything I've ever done. I take responsibility for it. You know, I don't blame no one. But it's just the looks, and, you know, people actually, you know, it's funny because I was walking down the street one night and there was a man and his wife walking in front of me. And when I walked by him, the woman jumped and screamed and grabbed a hold of her husband. And I looked at her like, wow, man. I mean, was all that really necessary? I mean, I did nothing to make her react like that, but her to look at me. You know, that hurt. I mean, that as a person, as a caring person like I am, I mean, if anybody knows me, they know that I have a good heart, and I don't try to hurt no one, even with the words I say. You know, and that's why I tell, but I say things the way I feel. I don't sugarcoat nothing, and I tell people when they ask my opinion, I'm like, "Are you sure you want my opinion? Because I'm going to tell you how I feel, and you may not like what I have to say. So, are you sure you want me to give you my opinion? Because I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings.
Right.
I mean, because I know how it feels to have your feelings hurt. I mean, sometimes it happens indirectly, and I understand that, but a lot of times it's meant.
Okay. So where do you usually sleep?
If I don't go to the shelter, I sleep out up on 13th Street by the convention center.
Okay. And how do you eat?
Well, some of the money that I get from people, you know, when they give me money, or they feed, you know, they have people that come around and feed. Hub of Hope, I mean, they feed. You can sit in there all day, you know, but I don't want to just sit there. I'm not going to find no work in there. Like, I've gotten a few jobs by being out with my sign and all, you know, people asking, do you really want to work? You want me to get in? You know, it's like, yes, I want to work.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't, like I said, it's very humbling for me to have to, you know, hold that sign.
Okay. Yeah, man. So as y'all hear, Benji, he's willing to work. He's always looking for work. He's handy. He can do a lot of different things. So, you know, if somebody needs some work, you know, I know where to find Benji, and you know he's willing to do the work. How you deal with your children and things like that?
Um, well, I mean, I've always been honest with them too. I mean, even about when I was my drug addiction. You know, I told them when I thought they were old enough to fully comprehend what I was telling them. I told them, and I gave them a choice of either loving me or hating me, and I had to live with whatever they decided because I chose to do what I did.
Mm-hmm.
So if they decided to not have nothing to do with me, I would have had to live with that. I mean, it would have hurt, but I still would have had to live with that because I chose to do what I did. But I mean, they've been there for me. You know, there's been times when I thought I was going to relapse, and I would call my kids, you know, to talk to them, and talking to them, you know, that thought left my mind. You
Mm.
know, so, and they know that's what I called them for. You know, I let them know, yo, listen, I'm thinking about using, and you know, they talked me right out of it. And you know, being with my grandson, he's just the coolest.
And how old is he now? I mean,
3.
how old are your
My
kids?
kids, I have 4 kids altogether. My oldest will be 38 in November. Then Amanda will be 36. Katrin is 33, and Zachary is 30.
Okay. For anybody that's watching or seeing this, or just to the public, period, what would you like people to know about Benji or about your situation?
That I very much want to get out of this situation. I would love a full-time job and have the opportunity to show my worth, you know, that I'm capable of giving you whatever you need to be done. You know, and I take pride in my work.
Right. And what advice would you give to anybody out there to, keep them from being in a situation like this?
Ask for help before it starts, or don't be afraid to open up to someone. I had that problem for a long time where I held everything in, and I guess I was afraid to talk to someone. Open up, go to someone, get the help you need. Don't be ashamed of anything you've done. Take responsibility. It's you. I mean, you choose to do what you do. You have to take responsibility, and you have to want it. You can't do it for no one else. If you do it for someone else, it won't happen. If you don't do it for yourself, you're not going to do it.
All right, Benji, man, it was a pleasure to sit with you, and thanks for sharing your story, and just keep having that hard work mentality.
It'll never fail.
I believe that that's going to be the key to turn your situation around. So keep having that mentality, and keep being a good person.
Never.
You know what I'm saying?
Never.
And what you put out to the universe will definitely come back to you.
I agree.
And I felt your energy from the time we met, from the time I spoke to you, your response, and so keep putting that type of energy out into the world, and I believe that things are going to turn around for you. And when they do, just remember the days and stay strong. Continue to be that example for the kids and the grandkids.
Yeah. You can never forget where you came from.
For sure.
That's failure.
Thank you, man.
My privilege and honor.